What if I told you there's a place where you could read the entire story of human civilization, not in a book, but written in actual stone and marble? Well, today, we're diving into a country that is, quite literally, a library of human history. We're talking about Turkey and its absolutely staggering collection of UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
And you know, this story is always being updated. In fact, just this year, a brand new chapter was added to the collection, making this incredible library just a little bit bigger. So, how many sites does that bring the grand total to?
22. That's the magic number. 22 places so special, so important, that they're considered the shared heritage of all of us, of all humanity. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We're going to look at Turkey's official UNESCO World Heritage Sites, starting with that newest edition. We'll journey through thousands of years of history and really get into why this particular collection is so incredibly important for the whole world. Okay, let's get right into it. First up, the newest treasure on the list. Just recently, Sardis and the Lydian tumuli of Bin Tepe got the official nod. Now, Sardis was the legendary, fantastically wealthy capital of the ancient kingdom of Lydia. And Bin Tepe, well, that's its royal cemetery, a whole landscape of these massive, man-made burial mounds.
So, what's the big deal with Sardis? Well, for starters, if you've ever used money, you've got the Lydians to thank. This is the place where the world's very first standardized coins were minted, and that changed everything for global trade. The site also has this enormous temple of Artemis and, of course, those colossal burial mounds at Bin Tepe we just talked about.
You know, adding a site like Sardis to this list is a huge deal, but it makes you wonder, what does UNESCO World Heritage Site actually mean? What's it all about?
At its heart, it's really a promise. Back in 1972, this program was started to identify places so valuable to the human story that protecting them becomes a global responsibility. These aren't just one country's treasures. They're seen as the shared inheritance of every single one of us, something we all have to preserve for the future.
Now, when you break down Turkey's list, something really jumps out. A whopping 20 of the 22 sites are cultural. That means they're recognized for human achievements, for art, for architecture, for genius. The other two are mixed, places like Cappadocia and Pamukkale, where jaw-dropping natural landscapes meet incredible human history. It just shows you this is a true encyclopedia of civilization.
Okay, to really get a sense of the scale here, let's take a quick trip back in time. And I mean a really, really long trip back.
This timeline is it's mind-blowing. It starts more than 11,000 years ago with Göbekli Tepe, a site that totally rewrote our understanding of the past. Its huge temples were built by hunter-gatherers. This suggests that organized religion might have actually come before farming, not the other way around. Then you see one of the world's first cities at Çatalhöyük, the capital of the mighty Hittite Empire, the legendary city of Troy, and then Ephesus, a shining star of the Roman Empire. That's literally 10,000 years of human innovation all in one place.
All right, let's leap forward from the ancient world. After empires like the Romans, this land became the heart of another massive global power, the Ottomans.
So on one side, you've got Bursa. As the very first Ottoman capital, its whole city plan became the blueprint for later cities across the empire. And on the other side, you have a city like Safranbolu. It shows the empire's economic power as a key stop on trade routes, with architecture that spread far and wide. Together, they tell this amazing story of how an empire was born and how it grew.
So we go from the birth of an empire to its absolute peak of creative genius. The legendary architect Mimar Sinan. Well, he only needed one word to describe his greatest achievement.
His masterpiece. And this is it, the Selimiye Mosque complex in Edirne. It's just a marvel of perfection. That enormous central dome looks like it's floating on air, and it really represents the absolute pinnacle of Ottoman architecture. It is, in every single way, a masterpiece.
So, after that whirlwind tour, let's just step back for a second. Why does this specific collection of 22 sites matter so much, not just for Turkey, but for everyone? What's the bigger picture here?
So, here's the most important takeaway. Turkey's UNESCO sites, they're not just a random collection of cool old places. They form a continuous story that spans over 11,000 years. It's like a library where you can read the very first chapters on religion at Göbekli Tepe, see the first cities being born, and watch empires rise and fall. It is the physical crossroads where East met West, creating this incredible fusion of cultures you can still see today.
But here's the thing, this story is far from over, not by a long shot. This number, 79, this represents the number of sites from Turkey that are currently on what UNESCO calls the tentative list. These are all places that could be nominated in the future. So yeah, the library is still growing.
And that just leaves us with this one fascinating question to think about. With 79 more potential sites, from lost ancient cities to incredible medieval castles, what other stories are still out there, just waiting to be told? What amazing new chapter in our shared human history is Turkey going to reveal to the world next?